Right friends, welcome back to Learning Space. This is Press Information Bureau News in detail. The first one is India and Chile have entered into another milestone as an agreement on the expansion of India-Chile Preferential Trade Agreement came into force on 16th May 2017, and here the expanded PTA will benefit both the sides. And here one important point I would like to tell you, in comparison to 2014-15, the trade with Chile reduced by around 28%. And if you look at the imports from Chile, 88% imports are copper ore, please don't forget. And this is the map of Chile having a long coastline towards Pacific Ocean, please don't forget. And when you are looking at this long coastline and this country, please don't forget, Peru is quite often into the news because of warming up of waters here, and which lead to the El Nino cycle. Right? Look at the next one. Union Minister of State for Power, Coal, New and Renewable Energy, Piyush Goyal, presided over the launch of world's largest efficient lighting program, Ujala UK in London. And two important things, please don't forget. India was able to significantly reduce the purchasing price of LEDs by increasing efficiency and not giving subsidies to the consumers. This is very important point. By increasing efficiency, India was able to reduce the purchasing price of LED, that is one part. And the second part is the scheme has sustained itself on the savings achieved by increasing energy efficiency in the whole life cycle of LED bulbs. Right? And out of the target of 77 crores of bulbs replacement of inefficient incandescent bulbs with LEDs, already 56 crore completed in the last 2 years. It is one of the biggest achievements for this government. Right? Here please don't forget, this Ujala is monitored by EESL. EESL is Energy Efficiency Services Limited. This is the joint venture company of public sector undertakings of Ministry of Power, Government of India. Right? LED bulbs are around 10 times more efficient in comparison to CFLs and 50 times more than ordinary bulbs. Right friends? For further information, please go through this slide. And the next one is, government stated that during the past 3 years, central sector schemes were brought down from 1500 to 300 and centrally sponsored schemes were brought down from 66 to 28. Here two things I would like to tell you. What is the meaning of central sector schemes? The schemes directly administered by the departments of central government are central sector schemes, and centrally sponsored schemes are supported either fully or partially by the central government but implemented by the state government departments. Right? So, central sector schemes totally brought down from 1500 to 300 and centrally sponsored schemes were brought down from 66 to 28. Second question is, what are the advantages? Advantages are better allocation of resources and improved efficiency of government programs. Right? Let us look at the next one. Aadhaar seeding of public distribution system to weed out duplicate, ineligible, bogus ration cards is in progress, and 78% of the cards are Aadhaar seeded. And here, because of Aadhaar seeding and also due to transfer, migration, deaths, as well as change in the economic status of beneficiaries, a total of 2.33 crore ration cards have been deleted or cancelled. And one important aspect as per the ministry is rightful targeting of food subsidies saved around rupees 14,000 crores per annum. Right? Madhav Chitale Committee on Desiltation of Ganga that has recommended a slew of measures which include study of reach-wise sediment transport processes along with annual sediment budgets to guide desilting activities. So the committee recommended that annual desilting budgets must be available. Second thing is, reach-wise sediment transport processes must be studied, right? And please don't forget, Madhav Chitale committee was constituted for desiltation of river Ganga from Bhimgowda in Uttarakhand to Farakka in West Bengal. And last year, please don't forget, Bihar Chief Minister blamed Farakka barrage for the floods in Bihar. Right, look into the next one. This is the annual joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercises. These are known as HADR exercises. This annual joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercises involving multiple agencies were done recently in Karnataka, and the name given was Karavali Karunya. And here the important aspect is, what should be the response mechanism? What should be the response mechanism in case of a disaster like tsunami, right? So please don't forget, NDMA, National Disaster Management Agency, is headed by the Prime Minister, and there is one national platform for disaster related aspects, and which is headed by the Home Minister. So these things please don't forget, and please look into this picture. Let us go ahead. The Prime Minister will inaugurate annual meetings of the African Development Bank, and here I would like to tell you one point. Features of African Development Bank: it is multilateral development finance institution, or you can say DFI, multilateral development finance institution. It is for economic development and social progress of African countries, and it was formed in September 1964, and the mission is to fight poverty and improve living conditions on the continent. And one important aspect is, India is a member of African Development Bank. Please understand and please don't forget. And here, for the first time in the history of African Development Bank group, that India is hosting the annual meetings of the bank at Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And the core theme is also appropriate: transforming agriculture for wealth creation in Africa. And during India-Africa Forum Summit in 2015, please don't forget, India announced a line of credit of $10 billion. Right friends, if you go ahead, Singapore-India Maritime Bilateral Exercises, SIMBEX, are going on at Singapore, and these are known as SIMBEX. And bilateral cooperation between Singapore and India first formalized when RSN ships began training with Indian Navy in 1994. Right friends, Singapore, please look into this map, and this is Malacca Strait. Through Malacca Strait, the traffic towards East Asia, Southeast Asia goes through South China Sea, and that is the reason why South China Sea is so contentious, and predominantly because of the China's arbitrary 9-dash line, which claims most of the area of South China Sea as its territory. Right friends, look at the next one. President hosted the banquet in honor of Mahmoud Abbas. Please look into this. This is Israel, and this is West Bank, please don't forget, and this is Gaza Strip. I told you about boundaries several times. Please look into the boundaries meticulously, because this is the potential question for examinations. And this is West Bank, and this is the location of Jerusalem, which is the bone of contention between Israel and Palestine. And Mahmoud Abbas, he visited India. And another important aspect is, in Ramallah, when our president visited Palestine, it was decided that a techno park, Palestine, India techno park, will come up in Ramallah, and already foundation stone has already been laid for that $12 million Palestine India techno park. And these are the points stated by the president when he hosted the banquet in honor of Mahmoud Abbas, president of the state of Palestine. So from this you can get lot of information with regard to Palestine and India-Palestine relations during the past 50 to 60 years. And India was the first non-Arab state to recognize PLO as the sole and legitimate representative of the Palestinian people in 1974. Another important aspect is India was one of the first to recognize the state of Palestine in 1988. And at the same time, please don't forget, United Nations General Assembly voted in 2012 to upgrade Palestine's status to non-member observer state. Now, Palestine is non-member observer state, and at the same time, Palestinian flag was also installed at the United Nations premises along with the flags of other observer states, and this decision was taken in April 2015. So please look into this map, very important from examination perspective. Then Union Cabinet has given its approval for multilateral convention to implement tax treaty related measures, and this is piloted by OECD and G20, and this convention is the outcome of OECD G20 base erosion and profit shifting project. Base erosion and profit shifting is nothing but shifting the profits from one location to the tax havens with the sole purpose of avoiding the tax by exploiting the loopholes in the system, right? So this OECD and G20 framework formulated this convention, and Union Cabinet has given approval for this convention to implement tax treaty related measures. And here this point is very important. The convention was conceived as a multilateral instrument. Now it would swiftly modify all covered bilateral tax treaties to implement BEPS measures. So it will swiftly modify the bilateral tax treaties to implement BEPS measures. So that is the purpose of this multilateral convention, to implement tax treaty related measures, right? So let us go ahead. Why I have shown this picture is Panama is one country and considered to be the tax haven. Please don't forget. At the same time, there are several countries across the world which are tax havens, and they are surviving solely because of the shifting of profits and other mechanisms engaged by multinational corporations so as to avoid paying the tax, right? Look into the next one. Union Cabinet approved construction of 10 units of India's indigenous pressurized heavy water reactors. We discussed as a separate module. So please view that capsule. If you are not viewing that capsule, please go through this text. India has got at present 6,240 megawatt capacity from 22 operational plants. And this is natural uranium, which constitutes predominantly U-238, but U-235 is useful for fission chain reaction. That's why the natural uranium is to be enriched, right? For enrichment of uranium, these centrifuges are used, and without enrichment of uranium also, that means by using natural uranium also, by using heavy water, you can establish a nuclear power plant. And all about heavy water I have given here. Please go through it because I have already deliberated in the lecture as a separate module, right? Union Cabinet approved Pan-India implementation of maternity benefit program. So it will be implemented from 1st April 2017 and up to 2020 March. The cost is around 12,600 crores, and this is eligible for the first live child, only for one child, and a benefit of 5,000 is given in 3 installments, and remaining cash incentive is as per the approved norms, and total will be 6,000 rupees, right? So here The objective is to provide partial compensation for the wage loss, and it would lead to improved health seeking behavior among the pregnant women and lactating mothers. So, that is the main purpose of this implementation of maternity benefit program. And please don't forget, it is a part of National Food Security Act of 2013 also. Right friends? CCEA has approved the setting up of Indian Agricultural Research Institute or IARI in Assam. It will be an off-campus of IARI New Delhi, and it will be postgraduate institution of higher learning in agricultural education. Election Commission said that all the future elections will be held with voting machines equipped with VVPAT machines, or you can say a paper trail will be there. This assumed significance because several opposition parties made allegations with regard to the manipulation of voting machines. Please look into this. These two are the prime manufacturers in our country: Bharat Electronics Corporation of India Limited. This contains ballot unit, control unit, and now onwards this VVPAT will also become part of the election process. Right? So, look at the next one. Union Health Minister launched pneumococcal conjugate vaccine under Universal Immunization Program. It was launched in Himachal Pradesh, and it gives protection against 12 diseases. So far, under Universal Immunization Program, the protection has gone to 12 diseases, and it protects children from severe pneumococcal diseases. So, this pneumococcal conjugate vaccine protects children against severe forms of diseases such as pneumonia and meningitis. And if you look at pneumonia, please don't forget pentavalent vaccine. Pentavalent vaccine is a combined vaccine with the 5 individual vaccines conjugated into one to protect children from 5 potentially deadly diseases. And pentavalent vaccine protects against Haemophilus influenza type B, a bacteria that causes meningitis, pneumonia and otitis. What I mean to convey is, there is already pentavalent vaccine which protects against one type of bacterium that causes pneumonia, and this is to protect other type of pneumonia, right? So, pneumococcal conjugate vaccine protects children against severe forms of disease such as pneumonia and meningitis. So, please don't forget about pentavalent vaccine also. Union Minister for Chemicals and Fertilizers stated that Jan Aushadhi stores will be opened in every block to make low-priced generic medicines available across the country. And the scheme, the minister stated, is to create a silent revolution, and the minister also stated that the total Jan Aushadhi stores will go up to 3,000 by the end of 2017. Right? Government is also contemplating changes to Drugs and Cosmetics Act to create a scope for chemists to substitute medicines prescribed by the doctor. And one important aspect is, this is initiated by the Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. And here one important point to notice, Bureau of Pharma PSUs of India, as a part of their CSR agenda, in collaboration with the state governments implementing this scheme. So, these points, please don't forget, they are very important from examination perspective. The Prime Minister participated in the closing ceremony of Namada Seva Astra in Amarkantak. The Prime Minister offered prayers at the temple at Narmada Udgamsthal. This is the origin of river Narmada in Madhya Pradesh, and this is in Amarkantak. And Prime Minister also praised the state's performance in Swachh Bharat mission, as 22 cities out of the top 100 cities under Swachh Sarvekshan are from Madhya Pradesh. Then Union Finance Minister launched Operation Clean Money. Operation Clean Money was initiated by the Income Tax Department on 31st January 2017 with the launch of e-verification of large cash deposits during demonetization. And now the portal is launched for providing comprehensive information at one place. So Operation Clean Money is the operation which was launched basically to look at the high cash deposits during the demonetization phase. Now a portal is launched. The Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated the second meeting of National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction. Here one important point is National Disaster Management Authority is headed by the Prime Minister, and please don't forget Sendai framework with regard to the disaster risk reduction which was adopted in 2015, and this National Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction is the multi-stakeholders national platform headed by the Union Home Minister, right? So it is multi-stakeholder platform across the country and it is headed by the Home Minister. So these things please don't forget, and the theme for this year is given here, right? And with this, let us conclude Press Information Bureau news in detail. Every week you will have one capsule like this. Have a nice day. Thank you. Please do join for Why and How.